The 1831 French novel Hunchback of Notre Dame has undergone a facelift thanks to new music and lyrics written by Chicago's own Dennis DeYoung. The former Styx lead singer adapted the timeless story into a grand theatrical production filled with the same type of full-throated numbers and soaring ballads that made the rock band Styx a household name. Primetime Chicago's Paul Lesnick sat down with Dennis and the cast of this uniquely new adaptation at Chicago's Bailiwick Theater.
Every heartbeat, I'll dream of you.
First, I'm going to come to you, George. You play Quasimodo. You are the person who is so different. Talk to me what it's like to be in that role.
It's exciting, for one. Quasimodo is different than me in a lot of ways, but a lot like me in a lot of ways as well. The issues he faces, he cannot hear, but also really has this deformed face and body that deceives people.
Hey, Quasimodo!
Dennis, I have to ask you, listen, you're known all over the world, and what took you from the world of rock really into the world of what I'll call Broadway?
I took a role back in 1993 as Pontius Pilate in a reunion tour of Jesus Christ Superstar, and while I was crucifying all over North America, I decided that I would try to write a musical rather than just act in one. It was the first one I'd ever been in. So the challenge of actually writing an entire score of songs for a musical was one that I found daunting, but I wanted to tackle.
At the end of Act One, there's a trio. I know how I hear it in the audience because it just sounds an incredible blend. What is it like to you? You're performing.
I'm very loud when I sing. That's pretty much all I can hear, and pretty much all the speakers are that way. It's hard. It's very interesting though. It's fun to blend with this one and Dana.
I just about turned Jeremy's mic off.
Yeah.
He's very loud. It's a very delicate balancing act because in this theater, as you hear, Jeremy or George either could stand on the stage and fill the room. But since we have a floor level of amplification by the pit, they must then be above that. And so when Jeremy comes up, I go, that's enough of him. They're fine.
What's it like to work in a theater where the entire theater is really your stage?
It's wonderful because you get the sense, I believe, of Notre Dame, of being in the church as audience members because the church is next to you. You feel like you're in the pew because the ensemble is kneeling and singing next to you.
And so if you guarantee some small generosity.
And Jim, when I talk about Dance to You, I'm thinking of the soldiers, but talk about some of those scenes.
Oh, well, I'm not much of a dancer myself, but I do like a little bit of swashbuckling. So yeah, we get to do a fair amount of fun sword play, and you strap on the leather pants, you get the big sword.
You're ready to go out after the show?
I'm an American boy. Totally. No, I mean, you spent my entire boyhood. I got 3 brothers, doing that kind of thing. So no, a
lot of swashbuckling at home, is there?
A ton of swashbuckling at home.
When people walk out and come back in, what message do you want them to leave with?
But I think if there's one element that permeates the show is that if you believe in an afterlife, if you believe in heaven, then you're going to find this show in many ways not a tragedy and uplifting.
For tickets to the Hunchback of Notre Dame, call the Bailiwick Theater box office at 773-883-1090 or visit bailiwick.org.